Before we begin tonight's story, I want to say something. I hope wherever you are right now, you're safe, you're happy, and you're doing well. May your days stay blessed, and may you never have to rely on anyone else to survive. To those of you going through hardships, I hope your troubles are lifted soon. To anyone who's sick, I hope you recover. And for the souls who are no longer with us, may they rest in peace. Keep me in your prayers too. Now, before we dive into today's story, let me give you a suggestion. If you've got house chores or work pending, finish those first, because once you hear this story, you may not feel like moving. You might even feel afraid, maybe too shaken to keep doing anything at all. And if you're the kind of person who gets scared easily, take a moment to pray or protect yourself spiritually. Because when we talk about certain beings, they tend to draw close. They listen with great interest, and I don't want you to feel alone while hearing this. All right, let's begin. My name is Omar Nash, and I'm from Texas. About a month ago, my wife subscribed to this channel, and she was the one who first introduced me to it. We both thought, why not share something that happened to us? Something that I'll never forget. Now, I've had my fair share of strange and frightening encounters before. I'm a writer, motorcycles, ATVs, trucks, you name it. My father had the same passion, and I picked it up from him as a kid. We used to explore different places together, but now that he's gotten older, my uncle rides with me. But the story I'm about to tell you, it's unlike anything else. It left a scar on me, something I'll never forget. This happened in 2016. I hadn't taken a real trip in over 2 years, and honestly, I was burned out. I work in our family business, and I needed a break, a real adventure. So when my uncle told me he was heading to Arizona with his team for a bodybuilding event, I felt this urge to join. The timing was perfect. My wife wanted to come too. She'd already traveled with me on many rides before. I thought, why not? But here's where I need to stop and give you a warning. The mistake I made, I don't want you to make. The night before we left, my dad told me, don't go. Cancel this trip. The roads aren't safe. I brushed it off. Dad, it'll be fine. God will protect us. Besides, I'm not going alone. I'm with the whole team. And I left. My uncle was traveling with his bodybuilding association crew, athletes, trainers, the works. They had a bus arranged through the organizers, even some government escorts. But since I had my own truck, I decided to drive. It was a black Toyota 4x4 packed with supplies, food, water, full gas tank. My plan was simple: drive straight through, no unnecessary stops. But life doesn't always go as planned. We dropped the kids off at my parents' place, and by the time we hit the road, it was already late afternoon. The drive from Texas to Arizona is long, through deserts, mountains, and endless stretches of nothingness. By 6 a.m. the next day, after driving all night, I reached New Mexico. I wanted to keep pushing forward, but my wife insisted we stop for a little rest. Reluctantly, I agreed. We checked into a cheap roadside motel. That was my second mistake. I thought I'd nap for just an hour, but we didn't wake up until noon. By then, I was already behind schedule. We hit the road again, heading west. The route was supposed to be Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Phoenix. But as evening fell, we ended up taking a wrong turn. And that wrong turn nearly cost us everything. It was close to 10:30 at night. The road I'd taken was narrow, twisting between mountains and canyons. No lights, no cars. Just pitch black desert and jagged cliffs towering above us. I rolled the window down, hoping the cool desert air would help me stay awake. But instead, the howling wind made this eerie whistling sound, like someone or something was trying to get my attention. We drove for hours. No towns, no gas stations, not even a passing truck. That's when I realized we were lost. completely off route. The deeper we went, the more it felt like we weren't alone. My wife sat beside me, staring straight ahead, silent, her face pale. She was terrified. And honestly, so was I. It felt like dozens of unseen eyes were watching us from the rocks above. I don't usually speed, never have. But that night, for the first and only time in my life, I floored it. My 4x4 roared, flying down that desolate highway at 90, 100, even 110 miles per hour. If anything had gone wrong, a sharp curve, a blown tire, our truck would have been nothing but shattered pieces across the desert. Then, it happened. Right as the road curved, my truck suddenly died. The engine just cut off. I slammed the steering wheel, stunned. My wife grabbed my arm, panicking. I coasted to a stop in the middle of nowhere. Complete silence. No cars, no lights, nothing. I stepped out. The night air was thick, heavy, filled with that howling wind. Jagged rocks surrounded us on all sides, casting long, monstrous shadows in the moonlight. Then, I opened the hood. Smoke poured out. The engine had overheated. And that's when the real horror began. We sat inside, hoping maybe someone would pass by. But deep down, I knew no one was coming. I handed my pistol to my wife. I had trained her to use it. She knew exactly what to do. Keep it close, I told her. If anyone approaches the truck, don't hesitate. Then, against every instinct screaming inside of me, I left her in the truck and set off into the desert to find water. The silence was crushing. Every crunch of my boots echoed like thunder against the cliffs. After a while, I heard it. Footsteps behind me. I spun around. Nothing. I kept walking. Then again, footsteps. This time closer. And then I saw it. Someone or something was watching me from behind a boulder. Its body looked human, but it stood unnaturally still, like carved from stone. The moonlight illuminated its silhouette, but its face was hidden in shadow. I called out, "Hey, I need water! Please help me!" No answer. Then, in an instant, it vanished. I searched for hours, limping over rocks, nearly collapsing from exhaustion. At one point, I saw a faint light in the distance. Hope surged through me. I stumbled toward it, only for the light to fade further and further away. That's when I heard a voice. A man stood a few yards ahead. His voice was strange, almost too flat, too sharp. "What are you doing out here?" I told him desperately, "I need water. My wife is waiting in the truck. Please help me." He nodded. "Come with me. My place is nearby." Something about him was off. He wouldn't make eye contact. His tone was harsh, unnatural. But at that point, I had no choice. I followed him. And that's when I noticed his feet. They weren't human. They were hooves. Like a goat. My blood ran cold. I whispered under my breath, "Oh, God!" And I turned, sprinting back the way I came. The man, or whatever he was, laughed, a deep, mocking laugh. "Take the water before you leave," he shouted. But I didn't look back. I just ran. I don't know how long I wandered through the desert, stumbling over rocks, hearing whispers and laughter echoing around me. It felt like shadows themselves were chasing me, enjoying my terror. Finally, I forced myself to pray, loud, desperate. And suddenly, the whispers stopped. Silence returned. I climbed a ridge, hoping to spot the highway. And when I finally looked down, my heart nearly stopped. There was my truck, but another vehicle was parked beside it. and my wife was outside, surrounded by 3 men. I thought I was too late. My legs gave out, but then I saw. They weren't strangers. They were soldiers. U.S. military patrol. They had found her. I stumbled down, barely able to breathe. My wife ran into my arms, sobbing, shaking. "Where were you? We've been searching for you for an hour." The soldiers warned me. "You know this stretch is dangerous. People vanish out here. You're lucky we found you when we did." Even now, years later, when I think back to that night, those footsteps behind me, that figure with goat hooves, the mocking laughter in the desert, I feel the same chill run down my spine. Some roads aren't meant to be traveled at night, and some things out there aren't human.